Hello YouTubers and welcome to the Inferno Project. Today I thought I'd continue with the reviewing of some of the more unusual box sets and review Earth Story. This is quite an interesting box set. I'm very glad I purchased it. It doesn't really have a connection between the stories apart from they're set on Earth. But that doesn't mean it's not a good box set. I quite like it. So let's just have a look at the box itself. The shiny Doctor Who logo, BBC DVD. I actually quite like this, the box sets. Very sort of green environment, a bit like the East Space Trilogy box set. I think I might have to review that at some point. With the green stars, you have William Hartnell as the first Doctor, Peter Davison as the fifth Doctor, and the Earth in the background. Shiny Earth Story logo, and it contains the Gunfighters and the Awakening, and the blurb reads: the first Doctor must survive the legendary gunfight at the OK Corral, while the fifth Doctor faces an ancient evil threatening an English village in these two classic Doctor Who adventures. Two-disc set. It's a PG. You have the back and the other side. So let's have a look at the first of the stories. So first of all, we have the Gunfighters. Yeah, I quite like this story. I think it's pretty underrated. Not quite sure why everyone slates it. A lot of people don't like this. Yeah, I think it's one of the better historical stories. Yeah, I personally think it's one quite a good one. I quite like it. So, to look at the artwork, we have William Hartnell as the first Doctor. We have, I think it's Johnny Ringo, just there. Tombstone OK Corral. You have one of the one of the Irk brothers, I think that's how you pronounce it. Doc Holliday, and then one of the Clanton brothers over there, and the saloon, and other stuff. It's a PG. The William Hartnell years 1963 to 66. You have the spine, and then we have the pictures, and it is by Donald Cotton. The blurb reads: Tombstone, Arizona, 1881. The air is filled with the sounds of shooting, cussing, and toe-tapping tunes knocked out on the battered piano at the Last Chance Saloon. And then there is something less familiar, the wheezing, groaning sound of a police box materializing. The Doctor and his companions aren't the only newcomers in town. The Clanton brothers have ridden in to settle a grudge with Doc Holliday, the notorious gambler, drinker, and dentist. In the Wild West, tempers are short, guns are swift, and a moment's hesitation in the draw can mean death. You have special features, and it was broadcast between 30th of April to the 21st of May 1966. Let's have a look inside. So, we have the disc, and the booklet of special features. Yeah, so basically, this is... the only science fiction elements are the Doctor, the TARDIS, Dodo, and Stephen, who are the two companions. Basically involves them getting involved, meddling in time, makes you wonder perhaps why the Time Lords didn't catch the Doctor sooner. There are elements of this story that I don't like. I think Dodo, yeah, I'm not a Dodo person, I'm afraid. Dodo's not really my sort of companion. Stephen's great though. I think Stephen's quite good. But overall, I think it's a really enjoyable historical story. I give it a 7.5 out of 10. I really like it personally. Fun fact, this was actually the last Doctor Who story to have episodes of individual names, so every episode is named individually from the next story, which I believe was The Savages. They all had their own proper titles, so after The Savages it was The War Machines, then The Smugglers, and then 10th Planet, and then into the Patrick Troughton eras. So, that is the Gunfighters. A very good story. And then move on to the second of the two DVDs. We have... hang on. There we go. The Awakening. Hands down, I'd say this one's the better of the two in the box set. I really, really like this. I'm a big Peter Davison fan. I'm not quite sure why people don't like this one. Again, people say it's too short, it's a bit too fast-paced. I quite like the way it's only a two-parter. I think it keeps interest. You don't have to drag it along. So I quite like this one. So we have Peter Davison as the Fifth Doctor. You have Will over here. Can't remember who these two characters are called, I'm afraid, so sorry about that. I think she's a school teacher in the English Village, and he's the one, basically, he's like a familiar. We have the main enemy, which is the Malus, and then in the background, I don't know if you can see, we have the church, and yeah, there's a PG. Peter Davison years 82 to 84. Doctor Who The Awakening. And some pictures at the top, and it is by Eric Pringle. The blurb reads, Little Hodcombe, 1984. The Doctor, Tegan and Turlough arrive in a small English village, looking forward to spending some time with Tegan's grandfather. They soon discover that all is not well. Tegan's grandfather is missing, and the locals are reenacting dangerous war games from 1643. With the past and mixed up with the present, can the Doctor stop the games before an evil entity hidden in the village church awakens? You have the special features. It was originally broadcast between the 19th and the 20th of January 1984. So inside we have the disc, which I think is epic. I think it's a really, really well designed disc, and the booklet. This essentially, again, it's a really, really enjoyable story. I think Peter Davison's last season, from what I've seen, is absolutely fantastic. It's a shame they couldn't he couldn't stick around for one other season. Yeah, I really, really like this story personally. Really well structured, very well paced. You do have to pay quite close attention, but I managed to get the gist of it pretty easily. So, yeah, I think it's really good. I'd give this an 8.5 out of 10. Really, really enjoyable, and I'd say if you're a Peter Davison fan, this is definitely a worthy purchase. So we have the two DVDs. I will give the Earth Story box set. Hang on, let's put it back in. I'd give the Earth Story box set a 9 out of 10 personally. I think it's a fantastic box set on so many levels. Two very underrated stories. Don't read the ones where people slate it, because in my opinion they're all wrong. Just putting it out there. I think this is a great box set. Great for if you're expanding your collection, but also if you're a first-time collector, because it contains 2 Doctors and then 2 completely different stories. One in black and white, one in colour, one historical, one very heavily science fiction. Yeah, just don't slate this box set because the stories aren't linked, because there are tons of stories that don't have a link, and they're released in box sets. But evaluate the stories alone. So guys, thank you very much for watching. Leave a comment, perhaps what I should do next. Subscribe to the channel, and like the video, and I will see you next time. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Goodbye.